Good morning, students. Happy to meet you again. We are still on cost of production, and today we'll be representing average cost and marginal cost on a graph. In our last lesson, we represented fixed costs, variable costs, and total costs. Today we'll be representing average cost and marginal cost on the graph. So you listen. Plan of action. We'll start with an introduction, then examine the table of values for the AC and the MC. We will put those values on the graph, and finally we will do some kind of commentaries on the graph. Introduction. The average cost and marginal cost, as you will know later, are very useful costs in economics. The average cost tells the producer the cost of producing a unit of a product, and because of this, if the producer charges a price which is greater than the average cost, he makes a profit. The marginal cost tells the producer the cost of increasing output by 1 unit, and the marginal cost is usually compared with the additional income an additional unit of output will bring to decide on whether to increase or decrease output. You are going to make that very soon. So we'll go straight to look at the table of values for the AC and the MC, and we are going to go back to our table of cost, and we will isolate AC and MC from that table and present it in the table that is displayed here. So these are the units of output. Then I've isolated the average cost and the marginal cost. So when the output is 0, the average cost is undefined. When you define anything by 0, it is undefined. When output is 1, average cost is 8. You arrive at 8 by taking the total cost and dividing by 1. When output is 2, average cost is 7. When output is 3, average cost is 6. When output is 4, average cost is 5. When output is 5, average cost is 6. When output is 6, average cost is 7. And when output is 7, average cost is 8. Marginal cost is the cost of increasing output by 1 unit. So when you are at 0, you have not increased output by 1 unit, so you cannot calculate average cost. That's why we put a dash. When you move from 0 to 1, you have increased output by 1 unit, and the change in total cost gives the marginal cost. Here is 2. When you have 2 units produced, marginal cost is 6. 3 units produced, marginal cost is 4. When 4 units are produced, marginal cost is 2. 5 units produced, marginal cost is 10. When 6 units are produced, marginal cost is 12. And when 7 units are produced, marginal cost is 14. Representing the AC and the MC on a graph. We have talked about the scales, so I will not be repeating that now. I've drawn the scales and plotted the graphs. I will just go back to what we did in our last lesson so that you understand how these figures are plotted. We said for average cost, When output is 0, it's undefined. You cannot represent that on the graph. When output is 1, you look at your tables, the average cost is 8. When output is 2, average cost is 7. 7 is between 6 and 8. When output is 3, average cost is 6. When output is 4, average cost is 5. 5 should be between 4 and 6. When output is 5, average cost is 6. When output is 6, average cost is 7, midway between 6 and 8. And finally, when output is 7, average cost is 8. So that's how these points were obtained. So the average cost curve is obtained by joining the average cost points. What I did, and it gave us the average cost graph. Going to marginal cost, we said it was the cost, or is the cost of increasing output by 1 unit. So to show that it is the cost of increasing output by 1 unit, we will plot it in between the outputs. So as you move from 0 to 1, you get the first unit produced, and the marginal cost associated with the first unit is 2. This is it. So we plot it at the midpoints. Good. When you increase output again by 1 unit, in other words, when you move to the second unit, the marginal cost is 6. You go to the midpoint, you move up to 6, and you locate it. That's it. When you produce the third unit, the marginal cost is 4. So when you move from 2 to 3, it's 4. 4 is plotted in between 2 and 3. And that's the point. When you produce the fourth unit, the marginal cost is 2. And this is it. Produce the fifth unit, you move from 4 to 5. The marginal cost is 10. That's it. When you increase output from 5 to 6, the marginal cost, which is plotted at the midpoint, is 12. And finally, when output is increased from 6 to 7, the marginal cost is 14. It's 14 now here. This 6 to 7, 14. So these are the points for the marginal cost. And as a reminder, you plot them at the midpoints. So you go back and you link the points with a smooth curve. A smooth curve. To have the marginal cost graph. So you get the picture. Study the shapes, because we are going to comment on them very soon. I'm going to move to the next slide, and the diagram will not be visible. So it's good to look at the shapes very well. You see that the AC moves down, it goes up. MC has a similar shape except this portion. In some books this portion is left out, and that is done. You have them having similar shapes. We comment on the shape of the AC and the MC. And the first thing is that the AC and MC are all U-shaped. They fall and then rise. The next thing is that when MC is below AC, go to a graph, you see that when MC is below AC, AC is falling. So when MC is below AC, AC is falling. When MC is above AC, AC is rising. If these conditions are true, then the next follows, that MC will cut the AC when AC is at its lowest point. You will go to your exercise books or your graph paper and try to represent the figures for AC and MC so that you master the techniques. Thank you very much for listening. See you in our next class.